Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. On today's first ever premium live event prediction, I'm going to be going over my predictions for Clash at the Castle this weekend. Without further ado, let's talk about some premium live events. Dude. All right, we are back. I'm going to talk about my Clash at the Castle predictions. Just to kind of preface things, I've always been a wrestling fan. I did stop watching wrestling just a couple years maybe where I wasn't really keeping up with it. I love the Ruthless Aggression era, and then towards the end of that, like kind of when they got to the PG era, I was later in high school, I was going into college, and I didn't really watch. I was too busy, kind of fell to the side. And then in college, my college roommate actually was a wrestling fan, and then we both started watching it. Eventually, we both went to WrestleMania 32, which is still one of the coolest things I've ever done. And really, I've kept up with the product ever since. How much I've enjoyed keeping up with WWE, I watch AEW, I watch everything. WWE has definitely had its ups and downs. I have been watching the weekly show more since Triple H has taken over. At first, I was just kind of interested to see if there'd be changes, and then I've actually enjoyed watching it and just having it on while I've been doing stuff. So I have been keeping up with it a little more, enough to where I'm comfortable to try and make some predictions. I'm not going to get super detailed. I'm going to go through who I think is going to win, talk about why. Hopefully I don't do too bad, but we'll start right here. I guess we'll see how we do. So first off, and also I don't know what the match card is. I just have everything set up. I'll go through every match. And if I miss one, sorry. I'll make up for it. I'll leave it in the comments or something. First match I have here is Sheamus against Gunter. I don't see how Sheamus wins this. My prediction is that Gunter wins. I think he's fantastic. I loved his NXT work. He looks great, and he's every bit as Walter as he used to be. He just has a spruced up name, and shoot, he might even go back to Walter now that Triple H is the head of head of WWE, head of Raw, head of Smackdown, head of creative. Hopefully Gunter wins. He continues doing good things. I think this is going to be an awesome match. I could see this starting out and these two just beating the hell out of each other with Gunter coming out on top. It's going to be cool to watch these two go at it over in the UK. Both guys from over there. I think it'll be a sweet match. I think Gunter wins. Next, we have the Judgment Day against Rey Mysterio and Edge, and Rhea Ripley and Dominic are just in their corners. They're not in the match. This match has to be for Dominic to turn on Rey, right? Like, there can't possibly be another reason for this match. I feel like this has gone on really long. I thought that Dominic was going to turn a while ago, and I'm not like a huge Dominic fan. I feel like that the whole payoff to this feud is going to be Dominic turning, and he's going to join the Judgment Day and be the fourth best member. Like, it's not like they're getting, like, Rey to turn. I don't know, maybe Rey Mysterio turns. I think Judgment Day wins. I think Dominic joins them. Whether or not that actually turns into anything, I don't know. I think it'll make for a cool moment, but I don't really know where they're going with this program. I don't want them to keep dragging it on with Edge fighting Judgment Day, unless Judgment Day is just gonna like destroy Edge and he disappears for a little bit. I don't know. I don't really know where they're going. It's gone on for a bit. I will be excited to see them move on from this. Hopefully give Edge something a little better. I don't know what they're gonna do with Judgment Day. I have a feeling they're gonna put a little more into them since Finn Balor is a Triple H guy. I'm a big fan of Finn Balor, big fan of Ripley. I think Damian Priest is fine, but hopefully Dominic joins them. Everyone moves on. Judgment Day does better things. Rey, Edge do better things. And that's the end of this feud. Next up, we have our our six women's tag match, and I feel like there's a lot of directions that WWE could go with their women's division, and I feel like Triple H is kind of resetting things and building some women back up. So I think this will be a pretty awesome match. I mean, everyone in this match is fantastic. I love Asuka. I absolutely loved her NXT run. One of the reasons I actually kind of stopped watching regularly was because they had Shinsuke and Asuka lose their matches at WrestleMania, and that was just like a final straw for me. I was so mad. If one of them would have won, I would have had a little glimmer of hope, but I was so hyped. They both lost, and that was just one of the straws that broke my back. I kind of took a break watching. Obviously, you've seen my collection. I never really got out of wrestling, but that was a really disappointing moment for me. Anyway, I think that Bayley and her team are going to win this match. I thought it was really interesting that they didn't win the tag belts. I feel like Raquel and Aaliyah are just placeholders for Sasha and Naomi. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of either of those two, and I think a lot of people were surprised, which surprises are good. For too long, we haven't gotten good surprises on WWE, so hopefully cool things like that continue. But I don't even know. I think we'll have Alexa Bliss take a pin. I think Bayley's team will win. Bayley will get the pin. And then from there, we'll just keep building. It seems like everyone in this match is going to want to challenge Bianca. So there could be some feuding there with Alexa and Asuka, some disagreement. But this should be a banger of a match. Bayley's team will get the dub, and everyone will be on their merry way. Next, we have the Smackdown Women's Championship match, and this one, just compared to the 6 women's tag, it just seems like a level or two below. I thought Liv winning Money in the Bank was really cool. I thought it was a cool moment, and her cashing in. Cash-ins are always cool. I don't feel like Liv feels like a main eventer compared to Asuka, compared to Bianca, compared to Becky, compared to Charlotte, who apparently I haven't been following close enough. Where is Charlotte? Is she hurt? I have no idea where Charlotte is. I'm not a huge Charlotte fan, so it doesn't hurt my feelings, but where the hell is Charlotte? Anyway, with this match, I know that Triple H is obviously a huge Shayna Baszler fan. He had her just go on a tear in NXT, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Shayna Baszler for the win. It would kind of surprise me to have Shayna win and then maybe she fights Ronda or something. But I feel like Liv maybe just isn't as in good graces as she may have been before with Vince. Vince loves his fit blonde women, but I like Liv. I just don't. They're treating her like Rey Mysterio. She is the underdog. It's supposed to be shocking that she wins. I don't know. I'm kind of lukewarm on her title run. I feel like a lot of people are too online. It seems people are booing her, which is ridiculous. Like I think she's fine, but I don't know. I don't see her pulling out of this match with the win the same way she did with Ronda. So I'm gonna go with Shayna, but this is kind of a coin flip for me because I don't really know what Triple H thinks of Liv Morgan. Now this match should be nuts. I think I read online that there is rumor that this is going to be a no holds barred match. I don't know if that's been confirmed. If I've missed it. I'm recording this before Smackdown on Friday, so I don't know if they'd announce it then. But I don't know how you build this matchup the way you have without letting them just go absolutely insane with weapons, holds, whatever. The build for this has been fantastic. I mean, it hasn't really been that much. It's just them showing up, beating the hell out of each other, and then on to the next show. But that Rollins, their sit-down interview on Monday got nuts. Rollins got very personal for real. Man, it's been really fun. So I think Riddle is going to win this. But at the same time, I personally would like Rollins to win. I feel like Rollins is just always losing, and I I really like Rollins, and I wish he would actually start. Like, I want him back in the title picture. I want him in the title hunt, and a lot of that'll depend on what they do with Roman and Drew. Um, I do like having one champion. I think it makes it a little more exclusive, a little more mean a little more. But I would love if Rollins was actually in the picture. So I think Riddle will win, as much as he's been bagged on and as much as Rollins has whipped his ass in the shows leading up to this. Just like in their fights, he's taken him out like 2 or 3 times. I'd be shocked if Riddle lost, especially as hot as he's been lately. But either way, I'll be happy. Rollins doesn't need to win. I'd like him to win, but this one I'm going to go with Riddle. Last but not least, we have the WWE Universal World Champion, whatever they call him. We have the Tribal Chief against Drew McIntyre, and I loved their match they had at Survivor Series, I think, when we still had the Thunderdome, and those two just traded finishers back and forth, just beat the crap out of each other. I think this match will be much the same. Um, I think Drew's going to win. I think that WWE and Triple H specifically want to make a big impression in the UK. They're starting NXT Europe, I think it was called. And I know that Triple H wants to spread WWE as far as he can. And I think having Drew win at the first pay-per-view back in the UK since, I think, the 90s. It's been a long time. 90s, early 2000s. I think having Drew win and ending Roman's 2+ year reign in the UK would just be an insane moment. And Drew missed out on having that championship win moment, winning in an empty arena in Florida. And he never really got that moment back. He had his match at Mania when the fans came back, and then he lost. And Roman, I've loved his reign. If it was up to me, Roman would just hold the belt forever and just beat everybody, be like Thanos. But I think you have to end it while it's still hot, and there's really not a lot left for him to do with the belts unless you're just going to keep cycling people over and over. The other thing is that I could see Karrion Kross interfering and doing something. I hope we don't just get a wonky finish and then they do a rematch of this. Really, I think it would be incredible if Drew just went over clean in a really hard fought match, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think Triple H is going to want to have a big moment to really start off what he's doing, because SummerSlam, he kind of took over and had to wrap up stories that had already been going, and Clash at the Castle is going to be like his first pay-per-view where he can just do his thing, and I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to have Drew win, have Roman take the L, disappear for a little bit, come back, tell everyone to acknowledge him. But yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be an incredible moment. Here's fingers crossed to Drew winning and going home with the belts. All right, that is going to wrap up my predictions for Clash at the Castle. One thing I forgot to mention is the Money in the Bank. I swear, if Theory cashes in and goes home with these belts, I'm going to be mad as hell. I don't think I'll even be the only person. I think a lot of people would be really disappointed. I think Theory has potential, but I personally just, I would be so disappointed. He's another guy. I don't feel like he feels like a main eventer. There's so many main event level stars on the roster that I feel like haven't really gotten their due, and I would be disappointed if Theory cashed in this match and kind of hopped over those people. Like Rollins, I said I'd like him back in the picture. Please, God, don't let Austin Theory cash in and take these belts home. Anyway, that's all I've got. Hopefully, I get at least a few of these correct. It should be an awesome pay-per-view. I think the crowd is going to be absolutely nuts. It does start at like noon in the U.S., like 1 Eastern U.S. time, I think. But other than that, it'll be like any other pay-per-view, but it's going to be awesome. Without further ado, I'm going to say adios. I will see you guys later. Enjoy the pay-per-view. Figure Dude, out.